What's going on, everybody? Back again with another Saturday Shpiel. Once again, this is Bobby G. This is episode 7 if you're on Instagram. If you're on YouTube, if you're watching this is episode 12. And today I want to talk about how God is with us in the midst of all the trials that we go through. With the civil unrest that's going on in this country, as well as the quote-unquote second wave of COVID that is going around, the time that we live in is no exception. And I want to show that both from the Old and the New Testaments. In the Old Testament, there's a couple of examples, few actually. You have Joseph, who was unfairly, sold by his own brothers into slavery in Egypt. You have Joshua, who everybody was looking to lead the country after Moses died, and even before that, you were looking at Moses to lead them out of Egypt, through the desert, and into the Promised Land, or at least the edge of the Promised Land, which he got to. You have David, who was being, hounded by Saul and disrespected by his own brothers. And the list just goes on and on and on and on. And then in the New Testament, you look at Jesus. It's like, listen, Jesus said, if they persecute me, they also persecute you. If they listen to what I have to say, they're going to listen to what you have to say. And Paul, Jesus alone. But he still rose from the dead, though. And that's what we hang our hope on, And you look at the apostles, you look at, I think it was Peter and John, who were taken before the Pharisees and Sadducees after Jesus' resurrection, sent to jail, right? You have Paul, who was stoned at Lystra and left for dead. They had to get him out of Damascus quick, fast, but they had to get him over the wall in a basket because he couldn't just walk out the gates. And if you look at, I believe, it is Eusebius's Ecclesiastical History, this is a old Palestinian bishop, interestingly enough, from Caesarea, in the Holy Land, and he writes the first few hundred years of the church. And every single apostle, according to him, every single apostle was martyred except for John the Beloved, who we know wrote Revelation. All in different places, all in different ways, all for different reasons. But the reality is, God was still with them regardless. And this is the message that I primarily want everybody to take in today. Especially given the times that we live. No matter how hard things are, I'm not going to say seem, I'm going to say are. No matter how hard things are, in this world that we live, the fact remains that Jesus, Yeshua HaMashiach, or if you want to use Arabic, Yeshua Al-Masi, is with us regardless. Is with us in the midst of the trials. Is with us in spite of the trials. Is with us no matter how high the mountaintops we may get, like the 3 disciples were during Jesus' transfiguration. No matter how low they may get, like when Paul and Silas were in prison. God was still with them regardless. Peter was thrown in prison after the Apostle James was taken out. At least we believe it's to be, it's either the James the Apostle or James the Lord's brother, one of the two. But anyway, Peter was lined up next by Herod Antipas, who was one of Herod's sons, Herod the Great's sons, and an angel tapped him on the shoulder and hey, time to get up. Set him free, let him out between the first and second gate and the first and second set of guards, and got Peter out. In spite of what was going on. And Jesus himself said, when he gave us the Great Commission to make disciples of all nations, at the very last words of the Gospel of Matthew, it says that Jesus told his disciples, and I quote, "And lo, I am with you always, even unto the end of the age. It could be the highest of highs, it could be the lowest of lows. But no matter where we are in life, and no matter where we live, and no matter the circumstances, the facts remain, as history will show. And you can look at Voice of the Martyrs, Volume 1, Voice of the Martyrs, Volume 2. You can read Extreme Devotion, also by VOM. You can read books such as Torture for Christ by Richard Wurmbrand, founder of the Voice of the Martyrs. You can read The End of Reason by Ravi Zacharias. You can read The Case for Miracles by Lee Strobel. The fact of the matter is, no matter how you slice it, no matter how crazy things look, God, in His Son, Yeshua, Jesus the Messiah, has been, is now, and will always be with those of us who put our trust in Him first and foremost, above everything. And that is key, and will continue to be key for those of us who claim to be His followers in the days to come. We have to put God first. Even Denzel Washington, when he was giving a baccalaureate speech, I think it was either Hampton or Howard, I forget which one, but if you look it up and look at, I think it's Goldcast, the channel of Goldcast on YouTube, or on Instagram, and you look at that speech that Denzel gave, the very first thing he says you need to do in order to have an actually full life, a meaningful life, put God first, he says. This is Denzel saying this, okay? Last year when he did I believe it was the AFI Lifetime Achievement Award, when you look at Denzel and he was giving his acceptance speech, and as he was wrapping up, he was talking about many things, and as he was doing so, he said that he was giving thanks to his family, of course, friends, and so on. But at one point he goes, and in this text, tweet, meme, mean world that we have created for our children, it would behoove us to remember that we were put on this world to love each other. And very briefly, as a way to finish up, he showed a clip of some video that was taken of his late father-in-law, Mrs. Washington's father, and his father-in-law was basically given a sermonette, really, a mini-sermon, and talking about how God put us on this planet to love each other. And you can look this up also. It's worth watching. But my point in this whole thing is that when we live for God, when we trust God, not apart from the challenges, but in spite of them, we will be able to endure. And it might sound like a hard request for some, but I ask you, whoever's watching this video, whether it's on YouTube or on Instagram, where are you at in life? And where are you going? And as you're going along, and as you look around at where you're at, are you putting God first above everything? Are you trusting God, not man, are you trusting God, the Father, to lead you through these valleys, through the valley of the shadow of death, onto the other side, and into His arms, and into His strength, and into His life, so that you can and will continue onward in the mission that He has brought forth from you. That's my Saturday spiel today. I hope that it's food for thought, and I hope that you continue to go on and seek the Lord while he may be found. It's my Saturday Shpiel. My name is Bobby G. I'm out. Peace.